welcome. We had quite a few people sign up tonight that are not on the call yet, so they might just be trickling in between now and the end of the hour, which is completely fine and also encouraged. If you have a question you want to ask, and you can ask it and stay for the rest of the night or be on your merry way. So we'll go ahead and get started just with some quick introductions. My name's Susan Corder. I am the Rotary Public Image Coordinator in Zone 34, and I want to introduce the rest of our team. Oh, you're going to spotlight me here?
Oh, you did.
Kelsey Sola is the incoming RPIC for Zone 34. She's here tonight. And then also from the Zone 34, Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator Joanne Meeker, Caroline Blacklinger, and Chad Norgard. Did I get everyone? And then from 33, we have Hamilton. And I think Lisa is going to be hopping on here later tonight when she gets wrapped up with what she's doing. But we're really happy to be here. We always love this session. It's completely unscripted and unplugged, and we just ask you to bring your questions, bring any challenges. There's Lisa. Hey there. And let's have a dialogue and learn from each other how we can improve our clubs and public image in our clubs and our districts. For those of you who submitted questions as you registered, I did kind of categorize them in just a few different topics, and I'll get to those maybe to kick us off while the rest of us are sort of thinking of what questions or challenges we want to bring up. And I do ask tonight that if you have a specific question that's only relevant to like your public image Epic Award task, like your task for December was completed, but it's not showing up on the website tracking form. If it's just specific to you personally, let's try to keep those minimal and maybe plug them into chat or just contact our team later. You can ask questions by putting them in chat, but you might be identified faster if you have a question if you raise your virtual hand. So you can just go down to the reactions and raise your hand. So one of the biggest questions or most common questions that was put in during registration was, how do I get my club involved in public image? And we see this a lot. It's like one person, the public image chair or the president, who is really fired up about public image and wants to share stories and wants to do all of this, but as one person it's really hard. So how do we get other club members involved in public image? And I'm going to punt that question to Kelsey because I know she's had a lot of experience in this and can offer some good suggestions to get us started.
Sure. Well, as Susan just said, it is definitely not one person's role to create the public image for a club. And actually, your public image is created by default, whether you are purposeful about it or not. You have a public image in your club. And if you want your public image to be great, you really need to make sure that you're incorporating every member of your club into the purposeful creation of your image. So when you look at things like social, for example, let's say you have a project or you have an event, you want your club to actively be posting about what is going on, right? You want every single person that attends your events to create some sort of content and to be purposeful about that. If you are looking at kind of telling the story of what your Rotary Club has done, maybe it's a project. You want people within your club to be sharing their experiences. A lot of us were invited to Rotary and we were invited by an individual, right? Somebody that we knew personally. If other people get to know the members of your club, they're going to think, hey, look, these are my friends here in Rotary, and they're going to want to join. They're going to want to partner with you. So making sure that every member of your club is a part of the public image, making sure that they're being purposeful about it. That's always a best practice. And really kind of helping them have the tools to create it. Sometimes Facebook or social media or any of that is a little bit overwhelming. But if you kind of set things up and make it easier for people, I'll give you an example. Last night at my Rotary Club, we are getting ready to do a Meals of Hope meal packing event. And we got all of our new t-shirts last night. So instead of just talking about our club meeting, what we all did is we put on our brand new t-shirts, we took a picture, we posted it on social media, and we made sure that we went and commented on everybody else's posts so that we were creating a two-way engagement. And that's just something, again, that every member in your club can go and do that. So that way they can be a part of it as well.
Thanks, Kelsey. I'll also add to that, use this as a shameless plug to promote our virtual event in January, which is going to be talking about social media, and Kelsey's leading that up. It's kind of like an intervention for clubs. A lot of clubs are doing social media, but also doing themselves a disjustice because they're putting some content out there, and it might not be engaging, or it might be engaging, and people are responding to them, but they're not responding back. So that two-way communication is really important. But that's the fourth Tuesday in January. We're going to be sending out a registration link for that virtual event, so make sure you're on it. Does anyone else on our team have anything to add with regards to how to get your club members
Yeah,
involved in public image?
this is Hamilton. Two practical things that work well is one, if you're using DACDB and you have the Ignite app, there's an easy way to share photos in there when you're doing events and things like that. So do a quick session at one of your meetings to show people how to use that feature in the Ignite app to share your photo. The other is like when you're doing events, talk to someone ahead of time. Just pull them aside, rather than putting people on the spot. Just say, hey, would you mind, while we're doing this, get a couple of shots of us while we're packing these bags or while we're doing these plantings, so that you're getting shots of action, people of action, rather than waiting until the end and everybody taking a picture, and a big line together. So take advantage of those two easy things to get club members involved. And then they realize, hey, this isn't so hard to do. I could actually do this myself.
Absolutely. Thanks, Hamilton. I'm going to see if Lisa has got her hand up. She has something to add as well, Lisa?
Yeah, so I have a simple phrase that I use: sharing is caring, likes don't travel. So if you are on social media, if your club is using social media, it's great that your club members might be liking the posts, but liking the post doesn't make it travel outside of your club page. So what you need to encourage your club members to do is to share that post with a comment of their own to their own social media platform, and that way it spreads the word. It's the old Fabergé Organics commercial, right? And they told two friends and they told two friends. And so if you are sharing the content to your page, you are actually broadening that audience. And so to Susan and Kelsey's points of, these people see your post and they say, boy, that looks fun, I want to join Rotary. Well, they can't see that information if it's only on your club page. They can see that information if you are sharing it to your personal pages. So again, sharing is caring, likes don't travel.
I love that quote. We're going to have to put it up somewhere, maybe on social, so you
I
guys
like
can
to
all
add
share
something
it.
as well.
Yes, Caroline, thank you.
Tell in the Rotary meetings, talk to the club about it. Let the people know that everybody is responsible for public image, and that's really the truth. And once they see their posts and their projects, and sometimes there's a lot, like my club is doing a lot of stuff, and which I can't be everywhere. So they're sending me photos, and then I share that. And they just, as a public image person, I think you're just basically the collection point, and then you're just putting it out. You're not responsible to be at every meeting, at every event that happens out there. It's just that the club understands how this works, that there is one person that's sort of like the traffic controller, to say, okay, well, get the information to me and I'll get it out. And after, I would say, probably about 3 or 4 months, when everybody sees that that actually works, then you all of a sudden have a competition within the club that everybody wants to share, everybody wants to send you something. And that's really what you need to do. And at the end, as a public image person, it's not any work anymore. You just collect information and distribute it. That's it.
Yeah, that Caroline, that's a really great point. Having a public image team is so important. A lot of clubs have a public image chair and they think they're done at that moment. But every single member of your Rotary or Rotaract club should be on the public image team. Not officially, but they should all feel empowered to share their stories and participate as much as possible. And some people just don't know that. So I think, the little educational bits at your meetings would definitely help with that. So well, thanks to all our panelists for your responses there. I see Elizabeth's hand up. So, Elizabeth, if you want to unmute and ask your question, we love to hear what you have to say.
Sure. And it's Liz. Kelsey, hi, how are you? I have to tell you a quick story. I met Kelsey and her family came to St. Croix. We were having breakfast. Her little son, we have chickens all over, saw the chicks and said, "Oh, look, chicken nuggets." It was the funniest thing. Oh my goodness. One thing about having everybody on the team in a way. I saw a post yesterday by another club here in St. Croix of a really important event they do every year. And every single picture was blurry. There was not a single good picture. And I have with my club, I've talked about taking pictures, not taking a picture from across a room if it's only one person, and I think that's really important that people understand. I mean, you're not going to make great photographers of people, but at least they should know how to take a picture that's worthy of being posted. Yeah.
Like wipe the lens before you take your pictures.
Exactly. Exactly.
Liz, it's been a few years, but we did a long time ago, we did a presentation on smartphone photography that doesn't suck. Maybe it's
I
time
remember
to
that.
Yeah.
maybe it's time to refresh that one.
There you go.
Because it's been a while.
Yeah, that was a good one. And the brand center also, when they're talking about the People of Action campaign, and we talk about that a lot, highlighting people using images and videos showcasing people of action. They do have recommendations on photography as well. It doesn't get down to like the frames you should use and cleaning your lens and stuff like that, but it does give some really good tips and suggestions on how to capture your members as people of action. So Liz, thank you so much for your comments on that. And I see Ross with your hand up.
Yes, thank you. Not a question, but as we're talking about quality video, just a kudos to the Zone for phenomenal videos. I mean, the one that was rolled out at the summit and then the one that came out last week, they're just, the quality of those is just outstanding. So I don't know everybody that was involved in it, but kudos to all of you that have been involved in creating those.
Thanks, Ross. Appreciate that. And I'll try to grab the links to those, or maybe Caroline can help me and drop the links to those from our social channels in the chat. But I will give a shout out to Nick Ramey he's a district public image chair with GigBag. He's with GigBag Media is his company. He's from District 6900 and he's produced those two videos for us and he's on the Summit marketing team. And we hope to have some more to launch too, but the first one really went viral with Jennifer Jones sharing it. We got a whole bunch of views, and so we're hoping to push this one out a lot stronger too. But thanks, Ross. Those are a lot of fun, and we all have to start somewhere, though, right? I mean, we can all make videos like that, or maybe not Nick's standards, but we can all make really good videos using the tools that we have. It's just starting and practicing and learning. And Kelsey mentioned the Photos That Don't Suck virtual event that we did. We also did two last Rotary year on how to create videos. So one was like a really basic video creation event, and then the next one was how to use Canva, which we all love Canva on our team, and that was how to use Canva to create some videos. So those are all recorded and they're on Elevate Rotary Zones 3334.org, as are many of the resources that we talk about. So if you want to pick up some tips and tricks on any of the stuff we're talking about tonight, then keep watching our virtual events and go check out some of the recorded webinars. Well, thank you everyone for your questions and comments so far. We are open to take any others that you might have if anyone wants to speak up. Tamiko, yes. I think I know what you're going to ask. Please unmute though.
Hey Susan, how are you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm cool. So yes, my question is, do we have to use a club runner to design our club's website, or can we use another platform?
Right. So Club Runner, similar to DACDB, has platforms for that clubs can use as an additional module they can add and pay for to host a website. However, those are only 2 platforms that clubs can use. There are many other ones that are useful and beneficial, just depending on how extensive the club wants to get with their website. And we just so happen to have the smartest person in the world that I know when dealing with websites, and that's Caroline. So I'm going to let the expert talk to you guys about the best way to handle your club website.
Well, thank you, Susan. That was quite a compliment here. The Club Runner or DACDB, they're doing more than the website. They're not really designed to make websites. They're more designed as a platform where you have all the information, you have access to your people, other clubs, etc. So be careful if you're going somewhere else. You can have different types of websites in each one of them. If you have Club Runner, you go with Club Runner and you can create your website there with a template that they have available. If you don't like it because it doesn't give you a lot of opportunities, or you cannot bring in the bells and whistles as maybe you want, but that may be okay for your club, because you have to remember next term you have different leadership in your club, and the term after you have different leadership again, and you have to always kind of figure what are they going to do and how can this continue. So if you build something, you want to build something on a platform that is there for future leadership.
I'm going to pile on to what Caroline's saying. Our club used WordPress for years, and I was managing it because there was nobody else in the club that knew how to use WordPress. So for 8 or 9 years, I was the only person that could manage our website, so I could never hand it off to somebody else. 2 years ago, we transitioned to DACDB's big, beautiful websites, or whatever they're called. And so now it's easier for us to hand off the website to a new public image chair or a new, web guru every year, because of all of the learning tools that DACDB puts out there. And it's not just the video tutorials or the online help, but DACDB has people who are available by email, by phone call. And so it's a much easier process for transition. And I don't think Caroline or I can emphasize that enough. But remembering that every year when you are transitioning, the person that you are transitioning to may not have the same skill level as the person you are transitioning from. And much like when you go on a hike, you have to walk at the pace of the slowest hiker. When you're looking at social media and especially website management, keep in mind that you have to design and build the website that somebody without technical skill will be able to manage for your club.
Yeah, that's definitely
Right.
There is also some. We have made a video not too long ago. Actually, by now it's probably long ago. It was in March of 2024, which is still relevant. So what I will be doing is I will go to the webinar archives, find yourself that presentation, which will give you a whole bunch of answers. And I'm going to drop you the link into the chat that will bring you to the archives. So I would take that and listen to it, and it talks about websites in general as well as Club Runner and DACDB.
Well, I want to go back to Lisa's comment about the slowest hiker, because I took my family on a hike in the Smoky Mountains over Thanksgiving, and I just sprained my ankle. I was recovering, and so now I know how everyone else feels having to slow down for me. But it's a very good point, not just with websites, but with anything in your club outside of public image. Even that continuity and transition of leadership is so important at the club level. It's just it helps eliminate so much new training and new work if you can work side by side with someone leading up to the start of each Rotary year. And Joe, I do see your hand up if you had anything you wanted to tag on to that last discussion.
Yes, I do. Lisa, my club just followed in your footsteps. The person who was using WordPress moved out of the district, moved across the country. And even though he said he was going to help maintain, he didn't. And it came to our fundraiser, and the website used to be the foundation for our being able to sell tickets online. He wasn't able to help us out. So we transitioned to Easy and Beautiful through DACDB. And now, because our club uses the finance module as well, we can take donations, we can take, sell our tickets, and it's all one neat little package. So it's not, a huge, glorious website, but it's functioning for our club just perfectly.
And I
you
think that's
want
a
to
great.
remember, if it's not continuous, you do not want to have a ton of websites or URLs out there, because a lot of people go, oh, we don't know what we're doing, we're just starting all over again. And that's how you create zombie accounts. And that's something that you want to totally avoid for the future of the club.
You also run into
We
people.
just used our old URL. We didn't.
Yeah, you can transition. And the other problem that I've heard with clubs is you lose that login information, right? With DACDB, it's built into the DACDB module, so you don't have to worry about saving login information and transferring that login information year after year. I know one club in particular, Guilford Rotary Club here in 7690. Guilford Rotary Club, nobody knows who owns the original site. Nobody knows what the login information is. So Guilford Rotary Club had to build a brand new website this year because they don't have access to their other website because nobody can remember who controls it.
Thanks again, Joe and Lisa, for the additional comments. David, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have one of them cute little gold hands that go up on the screen.
No, go ahead.
Well, it's interesting you talk about the websites and so forth because, by the way, I'm Dave Eggleton. I'm the president of the Burlington Rotary Club, and we just now developed a website, and we too went and got the old website that we had. No one had the password. We did know who had it, who was hosting our website. But we ended up going ahead and buying our own, and it's through GoDaddy, and it's also WordPress. So I got two questions. One question mainly is for Lisa, is that you mentioned that you had WordPress for a number of years. Is there anything that I should know because I'm working in conjunction with the person that's setting it up, and the person that's setting it up has done some of this before. Plus, she's got co-workers that are into this kind of thing. Myself, I'm lucky I can spell website. But is there anything special about the WordPress that I should be wary of or concerned with? Now, our club page is only going to be a couple of pages. It's not going to be an encyclopedia. So, I mean, the thing is, we're keeping it simple, at least initially. I mean, we may expand it and so forth as our needs come about. But unfortunately, it's been inactive for so many years, and my club has a lot of older gentlemen. And I mean, I'm the young guy, and I'll be 79 in April, so that gives you a clue. And so we are starting out on the ground floor on this. So I'd like any kind of information that you feel that would be helpful to us.
So, first of all, the first thing I'm going to offer is I'm happy to come sit down one-on-one and work with your club and show you some of the tips and tricks around WordPress. One of the good things about WordPress is there's plugins. So you
Yes.
can actually you can connect a Google Calendar to WordPress sites so that you enter the information on Google and it automatically populates to your website. It's one of the benefits to DACDB, which Caroline was talking about. You populate your club calendar in DACDB, it automatically populates to the DACDB website. With
Gotcha.
WordPress, you have to use these things called plugins. Now, the challenge with the plugins is that they need to be updated on a regular basis. And sometimes your plugin can go bad and you don't find out it's bad until it doesn't work anymore. That's the biggest challenge with WordPress. But David, I am happy to come out and meet with you and your team and figure out what we can do because you can also embed the DACDB new member form into your website so that your prospective members, when they are applying for membership in the Burlington Club, that new membership application automatically populates DACDB so you guys don't have to do any data entry to repopulate it.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, the biggest drawback with the WordPress is the updating and keeping up with the updates on the plugin, because that's
And
one of
being
the things
careful
that kind of sold us on this, is that there was these many different plugins that were good. And I talked to a guy that has a computer business, and he's the one that recommended that above all of them. And so I just wanted to get a little bit of intake on that. So
I think Kelsey has something to add. She's leaning in.
I was just going to say that DACDB does offer a WordPress plugin.
Right.
And I utilize that in our district and in our clubs and stuff. So they do have that option, which will give you the seamless updates like what you get from having a DACDB website. So if you don't have that, that might be something to look into if you guys utilize DACDB.
So if I hear you correctly, you're saying that DACDB has a plugin that we can plug into our WordPress that will keep the updates updated?
Only the DACDB information. It won't keep all the other stuff updated.
Gotcha.
So actually, DACDB offers you the WordPress module. They call this a module, and they have this easy template, or then the WordPress template if you're a little bit more sophisticated. It all works on the DACDB level, but when you're logging in, you have the feeling as if you have a WordPress site. In fact, it is a WordPress site because DACDB is a host in that particular way. Do you have another way where you have an independent host, let's say GoDaddy, Bluehost, or what have you? So, but anyway, if you are on a different host, then the connection to the other clubs are not there. So I would probably recommend for clubs to go via either Club Runner or via DACDB, and then either buy it costs the club something to purchase the WordPress module and go via that. So this way you have a certain continuity. You still have to update your plugins. It has the same problems like other WordPress sites, except you have access to tech help in DACDB. And as I said, it's connecting the Rotary world easier or more together rather than being out there on your own on an island that nobody knows where you're at.
The question on those plugins, do those plugins at any way inform you that an update is available? They do give you a little thing, because most of this is Greek to me. Believe me.
Most plugin can be automatically they update depending on how you have that set up. You have it set up. Depending on how sophisticated your website is, you want to make sure your plugins are updated, because if they're not and if they're old, in fact, they can, as Lisa was saying, they can break your site. And it's nothing more frustrating than to sit on the phone for 3 hours with tech support while they go and try everything out to figure out why your website doesn't work.
Yeah,
David and Caroline, I do want to table this for just a minute to see if we have any other questions. I'd love to come back to this conversation, though. I just don't want to get too far down the road on websites, and we can always set up a separate meeting too, as well.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. Lisa, if there's some way you could get in touch with me so that I could arrange for you to get hooked up with the people that was working on ours.
I just put a couple things in chat to you, David. I just sent you a private chat. So if you can open your chat box, my email address is in there.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Lisa. And I think, Tamika, I did see your hand up early. Did you have anything else you wanted to ask, or did we get that taken care of during our conversation? She might have had to step away. Okay, I'll give the floor to anyone else who might have another question. And I do have a few more that were submitted with registration, and I'll bring one up that I get asked a lot, and it was regarding Rotary, like labeled Rotary branded materials. Do we have to, is there only one place to purchase tents, or are there other places to purchase items like tents and the feather flags? And Zones 33 and Zones 34 both have vendors that have put together a package for exterior materials. So, like if you're going to a fair or a farmer's market or hosting an event and you want like a table cover and a tent and the flags and other sort of banners to promote your club, we do have vendors in both zones who have put together package deals based on the materials that you want to order. And those can be found on our website, Caroline. And you can also, you aren't limited to those vendors. You can purchase Rotary branded material from any Rotary licensed vendor by going to Rotary International's website and looking up their list of licensed vendors. And you can search by country and then state, and it will give you the contact information. And some vendors provide certain materials. Some might produce just smaller items like pens and mugs, and others will do the whole gamut. So that's, and they can brand it to your club as well. So I can't remember who typed that question in, but wanted to address that. And yeah, just give you guys any other opportunities to ask questions or offer comments. Has anyone had any success stories with their clubs they want to share with regards to public image, or any challenges that you want to bring up that we haven't touched on tonight? Yes, thank you, Caroline. She dropped those two different vendors in chat where you can look to order Rotary branded materials. And something else that we have that we talk about on our different virtual events, just as reminders, is we have a brand design review application where you can upload materials to our website. So if you design a new t-shirt, or you design a club banner or a pop-up, or even if it's just a social media post or an event flyer and you're not sure if it follows Rotary Brands guidelines, or you just want some suggestions, you can't quite figure out how to make it 100% ready to go, then you can use the brand design review. And look at, my team is so awesome. You guys are dropping all these links in chat. It's where you can just upload an image or a PDF, and you can have our team review it and offer suggestions on both brand compliance, but also maybe some to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing or make the important information pop. So use that. It's really, really important. Irma asked in chat, how difficult is it for someone to become a Rotary licensed vendor? I know they have a like single use application, and then they have a licensed vendor application. I think the licensed vendor is a little bit more intense and the fees might be a little bit more, but I don't think it's I don't think it's super extensive. I can't speak to it from the vendor's perspective, but they do try to make it as seamless as possible and be as responsive as possible to the vendors who have questions and want to become a licensed Rotary vendor. So if you have someone that's looking to do that, I would encourage you to at least check out the process. If it's just to produce one item, then they can do that single use application to become a vendor, just to do production of something for one event. But I do know the vendors that are on there have been vendors for quite some time. So it sounds like, that would be my assumption, that it's definitely worth looking into.
Hello, good
Thanks for
evening.
the question, Irma.
I'm sorry about that. I cannot find my hand to raise the hand.
Go ahead, yes.
So I did send this to one of your emails and didn't get a response. But anyhow, before that as well, my club, we were doing polio, to raise funds for polio. So what we did was to take the same polio, thank you for helping to eradicate polio, and put it on some candles. just stick it onto some candles. So I was wondering if that is not in keeping with having registered vendors for, would that be considered violating anything?
No, definitely if you have something that you're doing within your club to promote at an event or a fundraiser for polio, then you can produce your own labels. And I apologize for not getting back to you. I don't know if we overlooked that request, but I'll definitely go back in our system and check on it. If you're using the Rotary like a polio logo, for example, and without seeing it, I can't speak exactly to it, but if you're using the polio logo, we always also recommend that you use your club logo as well. A lot of times, what clubs will do is like Google the polio logo and it comes up with either the In Polio Now logo or like a lockup with the Rotary master brand, which doesn't have the club name on it. It's just Rotary and the polio logo, and we always want the clubs to identify themselves when they're branding materials like that, so the community knows that it was Rotary right there in the club and the community who is hosting that event or fundraiser to promote awareness. So yes, if you have the graphic and you can email it to our team again, I'd be happy to take a look at it tonight and get back to you. But yeah, clubs can produce their own T-shirts. If you have a local vendor that prints T-shirts, clubs utilize those all the time. Thank you for the question. That's a great question.
Thank you.
I will say, just re-emphasize a little plug for brand compliance is, again, just anytime you're producing any sort of materials, even on social media posts or newsletters or on your website, just always make sure you're downloading your club logo from the brand center. So you can use the club logo template, and there's a separate one for Rotary clubs, Rotaract clubs, and Interact clubs. So you shouldn't be grabbing an old logo and using like Illustrator or Canva or any sort of graphic design tool to modify the logo. You should always download and use the logo as you're generating it in the brand center. And you don't have to log in to My Rotary to do that. You can just go to the brand center and use the template and download the logo. And if you have a print company that's doing something for you, they can do the same. Or a web designer.
Can I add something, please?
Yes, please, Wanda.
Okay, I'm not sure if everyone might be aware of this, but on the Rotary Learn, I know that they have like different little courses or curriculums that you can take. And I know that helped me somewhat as far as knowing what to do, when to do, and how to do, because there was a curriculum specifically for this.
Absolutely. I did not tell her to say that. Okay, guys? That's a great testimonial. I want to thank you for sharing. And that was actually one of our most recent Public Image Epic Award tasks, was to take the courses in the Learning Center. And so you can go to the Learning Center, just like she mentioned, and go right to the Public Image curriculum. And the trademarks one is one of the newer courses there. And that's a really good one just to kind of learn not just how to properly use Rotary's trademarks, but the reason behind it. And it kind of explains the importance, the impact, the history, the trust that all goes with using that Rotary brand. So absolutely 100% take those public image learning courses. And there's a lot of great other courses there too you can take on leadership and various other club and district roles and positions too. But the public image ones obviously we're partial to.
And
it was after doing some of those courses, I said I would ask the question if I'm doing, because it still wasn't clear to me if so I do have on the candle, the bottle, the thank you for helping to eradicate polio as is, and then another label with our club on it, with the club's name on it.
Yes, fantastic. That's wonderful. And just so you all know, we are not the Rotary police. We're not going to come and say, you made that label wrong, throw away all those candles. Never would we say that. It's really about, just we're here to help coach you on doing it right when you're going into production or pushing out messaging on your different channels. We're here to help you follow the brand guidelines. But if you have a sign that's been in your community that has that old master brand, it's probably honestly time to update the sign because it's pretty old if it still has the old master brand. But we're not going to go to a club and say you have to take down that plaque in a park and spend another $5,000 to replace it because it has the old brand on it. Just like we're not going to go up and say you can't wear that shirt anymore because it has the old master brand. If you have Rotary polos and memorabilia and items, wear it proud, wear it loud, but when it's time to order your club new shirts, get the new logo that's 14 years old.
A question that I have is, okay, we're here and we're learning about branding and you have the resource. For me, when I look at branding, I believe that it starts with the club itself. So if folks aren't aware, when I say folks, I mean within our clubs, our individual clubs, how can we make them aware or help them to understand all about branding when maybe they're not interested in going online or they're not here to hear you? Because I believe that, I don't know, that that the club itself has to really understand why it's necessary to do all the things that we're doing. So any help with that?
I wish I could say it's as easy as saying, "Hey guys, this is the right logo." It's hard. I mean, it is such a challenge, and you have new members coming into the clubs every day who are just excited to host an event, and they go to Google and they make a flyer, and before you even know it, that flyer's out there. So it's definitely a challenge, but I think the more you can have a strong public image team in your club, a public image chair and a public image team, and get the leadership on board and just have that dialogue and address it as much as possible. Education is key, so the more you can encourage new members to attend RLI talks, Rotary Leadership Institute talks about branding and the history of Rotary. I think the more education we can do, the more that's going to take an effect in the club. But I wish it was like the snap of a finger or wave of a magic wand to fix it. Caroline, I think you had something to add to that.
The way I solve that problem as a public image chair is you are downloading all the proper logos and you create the logos for the club and you're putting into a public file. You can put that in DACDB. You can create a file there that's accessible to every member and just let the members know, go online, go on DACDB or go to this particular public file that they can download the logos and they should only be using those logos that are official.
That makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
Liz? Yes.
Oh, one way to hopefully get your club to learn, you should be at public image chair, be the guest speaker, prepare a presentation, physically show everybody everything. Here's the logo. Don't use old things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I do that almost every year. I do a public image presentation for our club.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to have a captive audience and just talk about it.
All right. And then you can find people who aren't paying attention.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to the question we started with, right? How do you get more people in your club involved and engaged in public image? Well, that's the whole reason we need to, is because we want to maintain a consistent brand and community and communications. And a lot of it goes back to not just the visual appearance, but the perception of Rotary in our communities. We want all of the members in our club to understand that when they're out there representing Rotary, they're driving the perception of the community. So we want them to be people of action. We want people to know that, we're the ones in the community that are making this huge difference. And that's part of branding as well, just as much as the logo is. Thanks, Liz, for your comments.
Sure.
Any other comments, questions? We don't have to stay on till 7, but we're happy to stay here if you guys have anything else we want to cover, or we can dive back into websites for Dave. So make sure...
We could talk about websites for the next 3 weeks, just to start. nonstop, so there's a lot there.
I'll let you stay on for that. Chad, sorry, you're the host.
Yeah, well, nope.
I will ask you all to put January 27th in your calendar. That is going to be our next virtual event. And we will hold virtual events in February, March, and April as well. And they're always on the fourth Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure what the topic is yet for February and March. We have a specialist from RI that we've invited to come and speak, so that might be a really good one in one of those months, or would be once we get it confirmed. We'll let you know. Registration for January will be going out probably early January, but it should be up on our website sooner than that. In April, that fourth Tuesday of the month, April 28th is a very, very important date. That is our annual boot camp. And these virtual events are open to any members. It doesn't have to be the public image chair or someone on the public image or district public image team. It can be anyone in the club. So please, when you see the invitations go out and you're not sure if someone else in the club got it, just forward it along, post it on your social media, because we want as many people to join as possible who might be interested in the topic. But the social media one in January is going to be a lot of fun. And then the boot camp we know is confirmed for April, and that's where we launch the Epic Award task for the next year. And if anyone is not sure if your club is participating in the Epic Award, you can go to our website, rotaryzones3334.org, and check it out. You can check your club status. If you're competitive, you can check other club status in your district to see if you're beating them or not. And if your club hasn't completed any task at all for the year, it's okay. Even if you start now, you can still, we have different levels of the award, so you can still get recognized, your club can get recognized at the end of the year by our zone team. And it's, we're hoping to hit record numbers this year. We already are off to a start and on track to do that. So these tasks really help your club stay on track when it comes to public image. And I would just assume that probably all of your clubs are participating because you guys have taken the time to be here tonight. But if you have any questions or challenges with regards to the Public Image Award, website, social media, branding, anything like that, just we're here to help. So let us know.
Question for you. Who would be the district chair for 34? The Public Image chair.
For what district?
34.
Well, so Zone 34.
Oh, Zone 34. I'm sorry. District is 7620.
7620. Lisa, do you know that by chance? Let me see if I can find out real quick.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Hamilton if you know where 7620. I'm 76. I'm 70, 80, 90, and 7710. Hamilton is rolling off, and I know that Ashley is trying to get his territory covered, and then Chris Stevenson is down in the southern part of the state. And did Hamilton roll off? Yeah, Hamilton must have gotten off because I feel like it might be. Wanda, what city and state are you in?
We're in Maryland, Pikesville, Owings Mills, Maryland.
Yeah. So right now, I believe that it's Hamilton, but Hamilton is rolling
76, 7620 is Ashley Waters.
Oh, it is Ashley. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ashley is driving to the Poconos for her son's lacrosse tournament right now. And
Wonderful.
it also
I'm so
happens
jealous.
to be her wedding anniversary. So this is how she's celebrating her anniversary.
Okay.
But Wanda, if you want, I can make sure. But so Ashley Waters is actually the Zone 33 Public Image Chair. So she's over the whole zone. And then we've got 3 or 4 folks underneath her. But Wanda, I can, if you'd like, I can, I'm going to send you a private chat with my email. If you send me your contact information, I'll make sure that Ashley gets in touch with you.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you both.
Absolutely.
Just so you all know, we are a big, loving team. We help each other across both zones. We function as one team. We have the districts that we cover just so districts and clubs have that point person. But if you have a question, some of us have various areas of expertise, and so we work really well together to answer questions. If you don't know exactly who to contact, just reach out to us in general.
May I ask, at the end of the what you call challenges, do we apply, or do we some, or because it's on the system already, so we don't have to do anything further, as in apply to say to the team we have completed the tasks?
Nope. As long as you submit those tasks and you get that confirmation, then your form is submitted to us, and we will know, and then we will collect all the responses in April. Well, actually May, because April is the last task, and we will hand out the awards probably in late May or sometime in June.
Okay, thank you.
So nope, that's a great question. You don't have to do anything to make sure we know you want the award. We'll get it to you and your district leaders as well. I did see Tamika had a question in chat that you're thinking about doing a publication for sale as a fundraiser. What are the restrictions for using club logos? It's maybe like on a book, or I don't know if you want to specify, but if you're selling some sort of publication, there really isn't a restriction as long as you identify it as, your Rotary Club, that it's a Rotary Club specific fundraiser versus just the name Rotary by itself. But if that didn't answer your question, let me know. Any other questions tonight?
Hi, yes, this is Anna. I came in late, but I see you all have a AI read on this recording. Would it be emailed to the attendees on this Zoom?
Yes.
Yes, we will send out the recording, Chad, later this week probably.
Yeah, next 48 hours probably.
Okay. Yep, we'll get that out to you so you can catch up on anything you might have missed. Did you have any specific questions, Anna, that you wanted addressed?
From my PDG Lara, coming from the Caribbean here, I am incoming chair for 2026, 2027. So just getting a head start because I have another 7 months until I hop on. So just getting some exposure. And of course, I will be doing RI website to look other public image for my term in 2026 to 2027.
Well, congratulations, and thank you for stepping into that role. That's exciting. You're definitely getting a great head start. And if you didn't hear us mention it earlier, the webinars are great educational tools, and April 28th is the boot camp. So the public image boot camp is definitely something you'll want to attend, and it will also be recorded.
Oh yes. I was on when that date was mentioned, so I did take note of it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Are we able to announce if we're having fundraisers to let you guys know?
So we have a story module, like a storytelling initiative where you can share your stories, and I think there's an option to do it every month when you submit your task. There's kind of an option at the bottom of the task, or you can just go to our website and submit a story. But I'll try to include that in the email that goes out with the recording. Just if you have a story to share, here's a link to share it. But we love hearing what clubs are doing, and we get a ton of stories, and Jo reviews them all, and she gives some of her favorite to the team, and we publish one a week on social media and one a month in our blog. So absolutely, if you have a fundraiser, we want to hear about it, and we'll do our best to help spread the word for you as well. That goes for all of you, all of your clubs. Yes, Liz.
Hi, we're not doing a fundraiser, but just to let everybody know, District 7020 has applied for a program of scale grant, and we won the 3 finalists. So we're going to be doing it. That's a $2 million Rotary International grant.
Okay.
And it's specifically for hand wash, Haiti National Clean Water Sanitation and Hygiene Initiative. Oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot that.
I won't tell Don.
Yeah, that's going to be January 5th. So I'll let everybody know. So the reason we're doing a district-wide one because everybody in hand wash knows about it, but our district doesn't know that we've applied for this grant. So we want to make sure everybody knows. So that's going to be January 5th. So I'll send you guys the information that you can share.
We also have a Facebook groups on our Facebook page, and I just posted a link in chat to our updates and activities group where we encourage clubs to get on there and see what other clubs are doing and talk about your events. We have Public Image Membership Foundation pages as well, but that's a great one to showcase activities and fundraisers that you're doing.
Great.
But definitely,
Thanks.
if you have successful events, send us your stories. Let us know how you promoted it. Let us know how it was covered in the media or on your social channels, and we would love to hear about that. We're always looking to expand the publicity for you, expand the reach for your stories.
Great. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I just want to thank everybody for their help and answering my questions as well.
Yes, thank you, David. Thank you all for your questions and comments. It's a lot more entertaining, I think, for you guys when we're not just the ones talking, and we can actually provide good information, helpful, useful, beneficial information to you. So the December task for the Epic Award is asking for your feedback, and we want your honest feedback. So if there are things that we could be doing to help you in your club with your public image efforts and reach your goals, please let us know. If there's webinar topics you want to hear about, let us know. If your club already submitted that task and you still want to give us your feedback, then you can either submit it again yourself or just contact us. And there's contact us information on our website, and just reach out to us anytime. Okay. Anyone on the team have anything else to add? Nope. Okay. Well, I want to wish everyone a very happy holiday season, however you celebrate it, and a happy new year. And we'll see you in 2026. Have a wonderful evening.
I don't know how to get off.